Good day. This week I want to read out of John chapter 15 to encourage you, because if we just read this passage of scripture without understanding some of the Greek words here, it can put a little bit of condemnation on us. And I want to look at some of the Greek words and terminology in John chapter 15 so that we can read it the way that Jesus wanted us to read it and to hear what he was saying. So let's read from verse 1 to verse 9. It says, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit he takes away, and every branch that bears fruit he prunes it so that he may bear more fruit. You are already clean because of the word which I have spoken to you. Remain in me and I in you, just as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, but must remain in the vine, so neither can you unless you remain in me. I am the vine and you are the branches. The one who remains in me, and I in him, bears much fruit, for apart from me you can do nothing. If anyone does not remain in me, he is thrown away like a branch and dries up, and they gather them and throw them into the fire, and they are burned. If you remain in me, and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish, and it'll be done for you. My Father is glorified by this, that you bear much fruit, and so prove to be my disciples. Just as the Father has loved me, I also have loved you. Remain in my love." Now the first word I want to look at here is the word here where it says that if we're not bearing fruit, he will take away. That is the Greek word Airo, which doesn't mean to take away from something. It actually means to lift up. It means to raise from the ground. It means to take up away from the stones. It means to raise upwards or to elevate or to lift up by the hand. It means to be suspended in the mind. It means to sail away or to weigh up the anchor or lift up the anchor. And that's what he's saying, that if I'm not bearing fruit, Jesus says that he's going to come and he's going to lift me up. It's like when the grapes that are being producing, if they are touching the ground where they're going to get rotten, the vine dresser comes and he lifts up the grapes so that they can bear much fruit. In Psalm chapter 3, verses 1 to 6, David is actually running away from his son Absalom, who wants to kill him. And he writes this psalm in the midst of this trauma. He says, "Lord, how my enemies have increased. Many are rising up against me. Many are saying of my soul, there is no salvation for him in God. Selah. But you, Lord, are a shield around me, my glory, and the one who lifts my head. I was crying out to the Lord with my voice, and he answered me from his holy mountain. Selah. I lay down and slept. I awoke, for the Lord sustains me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people who have set themselves against me all around." See, David knew the key about being rooted into the vine. He knew that God was his sustainer. God was the one who lifted his head. I want to encourage you, friends. If you're feeling downcast, if you feel like you are down in an area, when you get connected to the vine, when you get connected to the source once again, Jesus is the one who lifts you up. He's the one who suspends you. He's the one who lifts up the anchor, those things that are heavy or making you feel heavy laden. He's the one who lifts you up. He is the vine, and his Father is the vine dresser who cares for you, who sustains you even when you feel you're being surrounded by enemies. Jesus is the one who wants to lift you up. Always remember, you are highly favored and deeply loved of God.